I wanted to put this episode together for all the people out there, all the potential pro fighters who are thinking, I want to be in Glory, I want to be in Bellator, I want to be in UFC. And you're wondering how the promotion is going to change, or the promotions are going to change from that lower tier level to that mid-tier level up to the highest. Those premier organizations, and you're wondering, oh, what's different? What am I going to have to contend with? What am I going to have to deal with? Or will things be so much better because they're so organized? I want to talk about the transition, the things that I noticed throughout the years. It's been a long time since I've been with the big organizations. It was K1 was my first experience with a premier combat sports organization, and that was back in 2012. So we're talking right now about 12 years of exclusively fighting for the biggest kickboxing promotions and MMA promotion in the world. And prior to that, prior to 2012, I believe I started my fight career in 2006. So I had a lot of experience climbing up those ranks. So one of the main things that I want you to focus on is the difference is not so much in the fight, in the opponent, it's all the other things surrounding the event. But at the end of the day, what is the most important thing? It is the fight. If you're thinking, oh, when I step in the ring, things are going to be so much more difficult at that elite level simply because it's an elite promotion and you let that get into your head, I think it will result in failure. And that's not what we want. That's why I'm making this episode, to let you know my experiences, my fears, as I started off with those promotions, and then very quickly learned, look at it, if I remove the fact that, yes, the crowds are bigger. Yes, now there's a camera crew on me. Yes, there's lots of other responsibilities prior to the fight. But if you remove all that, all you have is an opponent just like before, except this one's probably better. He's probably a better opponent. But the thing is, and this is what a lot of people forget, you are better now, right? People get intimidated and they're like, oh, these guys are way up here. But you're not jumping from this lower level promotion and right up to UFC. You've improved and improved and improved. You fought people who usually give you a challenge. You're not walking through people. You're not walking out and one punch KOing them like McGregor did to Aldo. It's not like that every time. You have hard fights going up through your career. Yes, I had some fights when I was younger where I finished them in the first round, and I had a lot of years where I went, oh, I didn't lose a round. And for years on years. But still, they're hard fights and they're hard opponents. If I went back and fought those guys right now, I would probably annihilate them. And you need to remember that when you get to those higher level promotions, or whenever you do a jump and you're like, oh, this is now not my little local promotion, this is like a state promotion or a provincial promotion, or this is one step away from the UFC noticing me. That kind of thing can get in your head, and you need to not let it, because an opponent's just an opponent. And everything else around you is really superficial at the end of the day. But what can you expect when you sign with one of these bigger promotions? What are the things that you're going to get which you didn't get before? Well, obviously now you have some nice travel perks in the sense that they will pay for your flight, your accommodation, food per diems. You might not have got those initially. I've had times in the past where I had to pay to fly somewhere so I could fight on the promotion. It's almost like, oh, okay, I have the pleasure of being on your promotion and performing for you. Thank you. I'll get myself there. But once you get to the elite level, that doesn't happen. Of course, now you're getting paid, and you're getting paid better dollars. And the whole week, if you have a good promotion, is set up very well, very organized. There's somebody there to pick you up at the airport. They bring you right to the lobby. They get you all checked in. They make sure you have your water. I'm not saying there are not mistakes. There absolutely are. I've had times before where I'm like, okay, guys, I want to check the scale. Where's the scale? And they're like, oh, we don't have a scale. I'm like, what do you mean? You're a fight promotion. How do you not have a scale here? And I've learned things based on other people's mistakes that I have to bring. But the biggest thing still is, aside from all this fancy stuff, right? Having the pre-fight week, I have more interviews, You have photo shoots, video shoots, meetings with the announcers, all those sorts of things. Aside from that, it's really you doing the same thing. And that's why fight experience matters, right? If you have your first couple fights and you get used to, okay, I just get to do whatever I want. There's no pressure on me. Nobody wants anything from me except make the weight and fight. That's all that's required. And then maybe a little bit down the road, they're like, oh, do you mind if you do a little 5-minute interview with the local news crew? And it moves up and up and up to all of a sudden, there's a lot required of you. But that's why, again, we take step by step upwards towards those elite promotions. And as I said, the main point of this episode is not to list out all the things that you get with the elite promotions. There's some cool perks and it's kind of nice. It's to remind everybody that it's not that much different. Yeah, the belts are kind of cooler looking and, you know, they have some big names behind them, and yeah, you're on TV, but an opponent's an opponent. Your skill level is your skill level. It's constantly improving. If you keep that in mind and you don't let all the external fancy things rattle you, and I've seen this happen to people. I've seen them go, man, there's TV crews, man, there's thousands of people in the crowd and their performance just crashes. Seen it many times. And I think it's one of the reasons that many people don't make it. But if you can remove all that and go, it's just a fight, there's just an opponent, and that in itself is a lot to deal with. But if you can just go, it's like I've been doing for the last 5 years, 10 years, whatever, opponent, face them, train hard, fight, win, you will get it done. And you will eventually get to that big promotion and get to experience all the cool little things that comes with that. It's a pretty fun life. It's not perfect, but it's pretty fun. So let's call out to everybody. I will see you back here very soon.